Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Homewrecker Podcast on location.
Yes, we are here at the Chapman Inn in Bethel, Maine.
Yeah, we are. It's been pretty cool so far, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Not what I expected, not what you normally would think you'd experience on a quote-unquote ghost hunt.
Yes, this is true.
So, you want to talk a little bit about what we've encountered or experienced here thus far tonight?
Yes. Let me just kind of fix the cameras. There we go. Hi for everyone. We're doing a live stream, so everyone watching, hello.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
So we got to, I'm going to move my microphone a little bit over. So we got to the Chapman Inn. First of all, it was a lovely drive up here.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was very beautiful. I kept seeing these peaks of mountains and thinking like, wow, that's so beautiful. This one road it was like lined with birch trees. And then you just saw the mountains and the sun shining on it, and it was just so beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yes, it was.
Very scenic.
Yeah.
Tried to snap a few pictures, but I don't know, I feel like the camera just doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, we try. But we got here, and so for our listeners and those watching who know, we heard this place was haunted and we wanted to check it out. We thought, oh, we'll get a little paranormal investigation adventure.
Right, yeah, and like I said, it's weird because I think just having always been interested in this kind of stuff and grown up loving this kind of stuff, and just all the way that everything gets portrayed on TV shows and everything, I was expecting to be kind of spooked out a little bit, a little freaked out, but
no, so
not at all.
When we first arrived, especially when we got in our room, I got kind of a weird feeling. It was like I was seeing another dimension, looking at certain things. It's really hard to explain, but it felt like something was off, and not in a bad way.
Right.
Just there was something else going on. Not necessarily haunted, but something.
See, I don't have your empathy.
I'm an intuitive empath.
Yeah, I don't have that, so I didn't feel anything at all until later.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was like, it wasn't bad.
Well, you had a weird experience. You were laying on the couch in our room, and what happened?
Yeah, so I'm laying on the couch, and I thought, at first I thought that it was my heart beating, that I could just hear my heartbeat, because I'm lying on the couch and I've got my ear obviously down against the couch, and I'm hearing in my ear, in the couch, like a thump thump, thump thump, so like, oh, it's just my heart beating. But then it started going crazy, like thump, 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 like just, I'm like, whoa, that's not my heart.
No,
At least I hope that's not my heart.
We'd be in big trouble.
We'd be in trouble if that was the case.
Now, one of the thoughts I had is this is an inn, and there are other people moving around, so I wonder if it's possible that maybe somebody else in the building...
I'm not saying it was a ghost.
No, I'm just saying maybe they were walking.
It was a weird thing that happened.
It was bizarre.
And then later on, I got the chills kind of...
I kept getting the chills, so
went through me a little bit.
We tried to do, before we started recording, we wanted to do a little investigation, see if there was anything, and...
See if we could communicate with the spirits that are here.
Let's tell everyone,
allegedly.
first of all, about the spirits. So we came being told that there was a younger girl who passed away here, who lived in the house, and she, along with the woman who took care of her, caretaker, once they passed on, they just stayed here. So there was a young girl, the man who built this home. His daughter was ill, and he hired a woman to take care of her. and she passed when she was 16. The woman who was hired to take care of her when the father passed away, the man's wife moved, I think, to Boston or something.
I believe so.
And so they let the caretaker stay, and she stayed here until she died. And the inn is owned by a lovely woman named Sandra, and she was telling us that her husband, Fred, used to make coffee every morning around 8:30, and he would bring it up fresh hot coffee for her in the morning. And she said that once he passed, every morning at 8:30, she swore she could smell fresh brewed coffee. So once we kind of got settled in, I tried meditating and I pulled some tarot cards. And it was really interesting because I got the Six of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and then the World. And I'm going to kind of explain. So
yeah, please do, because some folks may not know what any of that
nope,
stuff means.
I'm gonna explain. So the Six of Cups was the first card that I drew. And it looks like almost two children, or some say it's a dwarf and a child, and one's giving flowers, and you have these cups filled with flowers, and it's a very nice image, and some of it kind of looks like reflecting on your past, your childhood memories, things of that nature. And I thought, I wonder if that's trying to tell me of the young girl and her caretaker, perhaps. Kind of that warm, happy feeling that I get from that card. The second card was the Four of Pentacles, and it's a man sitting, and he has a pentacle under each foot, and he's holding on to this other pentacle, and there's one above him, and just like holding on to what's his, like this is mine, and nobody's gonna get it. And I thought, I wonder if that's Fred, like this is his place, he owns it, you know? And I thought kind of that possessive, and not necessarily in a bad way, but not ready to let go.
Could definitely be interpreted that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I got the World, and the World is the last card in the major arcana, and some kind of look at the cards, like you start off with the Fool, which is 0, and you kind of go through all of them, and you come to the World as you progress. When I got these cards, I almost felt like these were the players, and then the World was kind of like, almost like a different level. Like we're kind of going into their level now. So that was kind of the feeling I got from the card reading. Sorry, that was my bracelet hitting the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we decided to communicate, and it seems like...
Well, attempted to communicate. I mean,
yeah.
If we did or not, I mean, that's open to speculation
and
and
interpretation. It seems like we got...
I think maybe
some answers.
I think we did,
yeah.
But
we seem to have the most success with the dowsing rods, which are these two copper rods that they'll kind of move side to side or they'll cross. And I would ask questions and they would move. And I would say, can you cross the rods? And they cross. There was, I asked who is here, like is somebody here, and it kept moving. There's a chair in here, and they kept moving over to the chair. And then I tried to go in the bedroom area, and then I was getting nothing, and I asked, like, where do you want me to be? And it just kind of stayed over in this living room area.
Right.
Then I started asking questions about, like, is there a man here? And if you're here, can you cross the rods? And they did. I was asking, are there two other females here? If so, can you cross the rods? I asked if they were all here, and they were responding. But something really kind of interesting and weird happened when I asked about Fred, and if it's Fred that's here. And he crossed the rods for me, and Alex had asked if he's the one making coffee in the morning.
Right.
And I didn't really get a response. So Sandra had also mentioned that after he passed, she hired another woman here who he did not like. He fired her, but she hired her back. And after after she had come back, she was in the kitchen, and they have these pots or pans that are like hooked on nails, and you just pull them off. And I guess she gets in the kitchen, starts working, and all the pans just went flying at her. So I asked Fred if that was him and if he could, cross the rods, and they crossed. And then I just said, how nice his wife is, and she's very lovely. And I got this crazy feeling. I got really sad. I kept getting chills when the rods were moving. But then it was like this vibration going through me, and I felt like overwhelmed with emotion and like really sad, but not in a bad way. It was like there was love I felt, but there was like sadness, and I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I was a little concerned for you just because of the way you were acting.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we'll post, we're gonna post video.
Yeah, we've got it all on video.
We have it on video. We have the rods crossing and everything.
My shaky camera. I did the best I could.
Yeah. But, and we will share that with everybody. But yeah, it was like, I got really hot. Like my face felt like really, like when you get really flushed and hot, like that's what I felt like. So that was kind of weird and interesting. But yeah, I feel like overall it's been a good experience so far.
Yeah, so far. Like I said, we've done a couple of these before.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened at all.
Nothing.
We didn't feel weird. Nothing moved. Nothing. We didn't see anything.
There's nothing. Yeah, but
so this is the first time we've actually had something maybe kind of happen.
Yeah, but it
and
also
feels like I've never felt anything before till tonight, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
We also heard a weird noise. And
yeah.
We're going to check and see if the camera picked it up.
Yeah, we don't know what that was.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, what was that? That wasn't us, so.
Yeah, it's an old building, so the floor does creak a bit.
But it wasn't a creak,
But no, I know. I'm just saying that it's difficult to determine if we are actually hearing anything other than the house being old.
Well, it is hard because
that's all I'm saying.
There are other people staying here too. Which is why we're trying to be quiet.
Yeah,
if you don't seem really loud.
Into the microphone so that.
Hi, Joseph Bruin. Hello. He's saying hi. What's up? I'm trying to read the
man?
screen.
How's it going?
It's sideways, so you can get both of us. So.
We're going on. What do we have going? We have Twitter.
We have Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and we're filming with our camera for our weekly YouTube
podcast as well.
And we're recording, so we are multitasking.
Yes.
Oh, before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Tim at the Irving Station in Lincoln, because we stopped at the
We had a little pit stop on the way up.
We stopped at the Betty and Barney Hill incident site. That's what they call it, incident.
Right.
There's a gas station right off the exit, and we've been there a couple of times, and the young man was so nice, and he was so kind, and so we told him about the podcast, and I just wanted to give him a shout out. Hi, Tim, if you're watching.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah, thank you for being so nice.
You're the man, Tim.
Yeah. But again, hi to our friend Joe. You're awesome. Yeah, so we made a little pit stop. It's been a very fun adventure.
Yeah, so far, so good.
I had to say though.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, I was going to say that after we finished the thing with the dowsing rods and that whole thing happened, I was just sitting in the chair, and I just felt like this overwhelming, like, happiness. It was weird.
I get a really good vibe
like,
here,
just, like, happy. And just, like, thinking about if it's Fred, and he's doing, making coffy for his wife, and throwing pots and pans at the woman he doesn't like.
Like he's protecting his lady.
I was just thinking, the guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's the man.
If that's what's going on here, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I was just sitting there and just thinking, wow, I feel like really just happy being here. It was just not what I expected to be feeling. I expected to be creeped out.
Oh no, I didn't expect that.
I don't get that at all.
This is the first time we've ever come to a haunted place and felt something. Like for me,
right.
I'm pretty sensitive, and I've lived in haunted houses before, and this is really the first time I walked in and I'm like, oh, I feel something. Do I know exactly what it is? No, but it's something, which is more than some of the other places we've gone to, and felt absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. Just, like I said, not at all what I expected.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're so conditioned to, oh, there's going to be stuff flying around, or it's going to be cold, and you feel creeped out, or no, not at all.
No.
I feel, like I said,
I think part of it is the people
welcome.
here. Yeah, the people here are very
Yeah.
warm and welcoming, and the people staying here, and Sandra, who owns this inn, she's awesome.
Really nice, yes.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
like you instantly love her.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna do some more investigation once we're done recording, and then talk about it again. And it should be a very interesting evening.
Yeah, see if anything else weird happens.
Yeah.
Unexplainable.
Yeah. We're
We'll
gonna
see.
be videotaping everything. We will be recording everything. So anything we get, we will share with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the dowsing rods, when they were moving, because we had the lights up too. So I
Yeah,
was
we're
like,
doing everything in infrared. Trying to see if any weirdness would happen in the
I'm
dark.
like, it's dark. Can you see? Are things moving?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was neat. So it was enjoyable. So I think we're gonna cut the live stream here. We want to thank everybody for watching, for joining in, and we'll save the video so people can watch it. And we're recording it. Yeah,
we'll upload
upload
everything when it's all complete.
Yeah. So from the Chapman Inn in Bethel, Maine. Thanks so much for tuning in.
How's this stop?
Gotta hit end.
There it is. We're still recording on the
Yeah,
audio
that's okay.
here.
I was just making sure that that's all set.
So for the audio here, could you explain briefly the spirit box and how that works?
Yes, I'm just kind of moving some of this stuff over. So the spirit box essentially is, you know how like you can kind of auto tune so it goes back and forth between the radio stations?
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of set up sort of jimmied, so it just kind of, it can go through pretty fast, so you can choose the speed that it goes through the station. So it's essentially supposed to kind of just pick up static. And with that static, you're supposed to be able to pick up any energy trying to communicate.
Okay. So it's not supposed to be just static. It's supposed to be going
Yeah.
station to station,
Yeah.
like back and forth kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's like what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you might pick up things in between, but yeah, it is supposed to just kind of go so fast, it's just all static, and you'll hear kind of the change, like oh, I think that's on. We're still trying to figure out the live stream, how to end it all.
Oh, it's off.
Yeah, so you can just close out of it.
I'm just like, is that what was going on? That was the view.
Hopefully not.
It's a terrible view, because that's not what we were seeing.
Yeah, we were seeing like something
Anyway.
way better. Oh well.
What can you do?
Instagram, I think, hopefully looked better, and I think YouTube looked good. We're going off of what we can see. So we apologize for any technical difficulties. It was our first time doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for the audio folk, what did you think of the Betty and Barney Hill landmark, and where was it located?
Oh gosh, so we're driving for the Betty and Barney Hill side, and we did post it on social media. It's literally right next to Indian Head Resort, and for those who are longtime listeners, my great aunt Pauline owns Indian Head Resort, and
It's like right.
It's right
right next to the
there,
parking
right next to
lot.
the
Right
yeah,
there.
right there. I'm like, oh, that's my great aunt Pauline's place, and it's funny because I need to contact her daughter Connie to talk to her about our family tree, because I guess she knows a lot about the family. So I was like, should I just run in and see if she's there? But yeah, I was like, no, we gotta get moving. But it was just really neat. I'm like, oh wow, it's right here. And all the times I've been here, and I never knew that was like the spot. Is it the actual spot? I don't know. Maybe it's just where they put the sign.
I think that's just where they put the sign, but
still,
I could be wrong.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's still pretty neat, for sure.
Yeah.
Just that we even have something like that in the state of New Hampshire is kind of cool.
Yeah. And again, that Irving station, if you guys are ever up here in New Hampshire, exit 33, go to the Irving station. It's immediately off the exit.
Yeah, it's right off the exit. It's awesome.
Yeah, they have like cool shirts.
There's like all kinds of
Alien
newspaper
stuff.
clippings and stuff like that from right around the time the Betty and Betty Hill case went public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It was great. Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, that place is really neat. So we really suggest checking it out if you're up there. And if you are up in Maine, support the Chapman Inn. This place is really nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's not your...
It's not a luxury hotel.
Yeah, it's not a 5-star hotel or anything like that, but it's...
This...
I guess depending on what room you get, we got
a suite.
Yeah, we got the suite.
We got the suite.
The big suite. So
yeah, it's really it's affordable. So come up here. Yeah. I was shocked at how many people were on the snowmobiles.
Oh yeah.
So many, like just lines on the side of the road. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole ride up here was just snowmobilers everywhere. I mean, it's that time of year.
Yeah, I've never really been up here this far north, and especially in the winter time. So that was a new sight for me.
Yeah. So what do you think we're going to do after we stop recording here?
We had a lot
What else do we have in mind for...
We had a lot of luck with the dowsing rods.
Yeah, it seemed like that was the thing. The communication tool of choice. You asked if they could move some keys to try to make it sound with the keys. We didn't get anything off of that. But anytime you'd ask a question with the dowsing rods, those would move. And
it's weird because I felt like this weird vibration. It was like I felt them moving, and I'm trying to be still because I don't want to make it move. And I'm trying to be so still, but I feel like I keep getting the chills like going through me. It was like they were just like going like up my arms, like through me.
Yeah, I was watching your hands, and I mean, obviously I'm looking through a camera, but it didn't look like your hands were moving at all.
I was trying not, but it's weird because I could feel it because the rods, there's like handles, and I'm holding the handles.
Right.
But when you feel them move, it's like a magnetic pull. So, I mean, granted, they're drawn to water, so we're trying to stay away from water. They are drawn to certain things, so we're trying to stay around like just regular materials.
Trying, but without knowing the wiring and everything else in the building. It's
from a skeptic's point of view, one could say that might not be 100% accurate, but it's just really bizarre that I'm like, oh, cross it, and they cross. Straighten it, and they straighten. Point in a direction, and they point in whatever direction.
Right.
It was
really
neat. Cool.
It was pretty neat. Yeah. Like I said, I thought I'd be like creeped out, but
no,
wasn't at all.
See,
it's very, very strange.
Was it like our second or third episode? I think it might have been our third episode when we talked about like when I lived in a haunted house.
Yeah, it was way back.
Yeah, so go to our archives, check it out, one of our earlier episodes, and I wasn't creeped out. So just because somewhere is haunted doesn't mean that it's creepy. It just means that there's other energies there. And
we had our wedding reception in a haunted house.
That's right, we did.
Which I don't know why we never mentioned that before, but that just popped into my head that
our
wedding reception was at your aunt's house.
Yeah, and it was a historical home, and it was haunted.
Yeah, haunted.
And the little kids would see like other people there that weren't really there, so they were ghosts.
Yeah.
Because they used to, many years ago, when somebody passed away, they would have that person stay like in one room, and then like the people before they buried them would just go to that room and pay their respects before they had funeral homes, essentially. Right. And there was one room I remember her saying that I guess had more activity because that's where they would lay the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you remembered something driving up here.
Oh yeah. So we did a show about UFOs and how each of us has seen a UFO.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know why, we completely left out the time that we saw a UFO together. How the hell we forgot that, I don't know.
So
But it was driving up.
We were driving up
going
to Canada with our friend George and Jen.
Yeah, and
we were going to see UFC in Montreal.
Yeah, and we saw. We all four of us were freaked out by it. It wasn't just like us. It was all four of us were like, "What is that?
Okay.
What's that up in the air?
Yes, it's a UFO because it was unidentified.
Right.
It was
I'm not
flying,
saying it was
and
an
it was
alien
an object.
spaceship. I'm saying it was unidentified.
It was something, and we
could
didn't know
not-
what it was.
And it wasn't a plane.
No.
Or a helicopter. That's
or
all
what
I'm saying.
a weather balloon. Wasn't one of those.
Swamp gas. Yeah, it wasn't anything. It wasn't
No,
anything like
none of
that. As far as we know, it was a UFO. Again, we don't know the origin of it or anything like that, but yeah, I don't know how we forgot that. And we're driving up, and I'm like, we saw a UFO with Jen and George going to UFC. How did we not mention that?
I totally forgot about it.
How did we forget
that?
I mean, it was only, 5 years ago? It wasn't like that long ago, so.
No, it was like 7 years ago.
Well, still, jeez, how we forgot to mention that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, I remembered that on the way up. My gosh.
Yeah, he's like, do you remember? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know why that was.
Maybe the Men in Black did visit us, and we just don't remember it.
And we're like slowly starting to get
It's slowly
memories
coming back
to us now or something. Yeah.
The things you forget, there's so much information out there that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird one. But yeah, it's weird that we forgot that.
It was.
And forgot about we didn't even mention that when we had our episode about weddings. We didn't talk about the reception at your aunt's house. I mean.
That's okay, we can always do more shows.
Listen.
We're not going
Listen,
anywhere.
my excuse is I used to get hit in the head a lot, okay? That's my excuse. I don't know what your excuse is.
Oh, I don't know. I have 3 boys.
Yeah, there you go. So.
That's all I got. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty cool here so far. We stopped, we got some Chinese food.
We did. There's a Chinese restaurant in town that the GPS sent us about 10 miles.
In the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction. Through 3 towns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think this is like a town line. This doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Oh, the GPS is saying. I feel like Michael in The Office where it tells him to go to the river. And he's just like, well, it's set to do it.
Yeah. So, aside from that, I mean, it's been pretty uneventful here.
Yeah. I mean, and it's still
in a good way. Yeah. I mean, it's only.
I mean, it's been eventful.
Right. But nothing. I guess again,
nothing bad.
I just have that expectation that I just set in my mind for whatever reason, probably just years, like I said.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too, though. Like
watching TV and movies.
Yeah, when I was sitting in the chair and you got really cold all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Was it like you felt like it was a cold draft, or was it
and I just felt
the
like
chills?
I just felt like the chills went up and down me, but it only lasted for like 2 seconds. It was weird.
Because I kept getting the chills. Like if you could look at my arms, you would see goosebumps because it was like just right through me. It was awesome.
I can't explain it. I was standing in the same. I hadn't moved or anything. There was no doors or windows open here. I got cold.
Yeah, it's like...
It was only for 2 seconds, and then I was back to normal.
Well, there's strange. A window, but it's closed, and the blinds are closed, and there's a curtain over it, so...
Yeah, we've got everything closed, so...
Yeah, it's locked up pretty tight here.
Yeah, I don't know. Unexplained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was, but I had never felt anything like that either. It was just weird. But it wasn't bad. I didn't feel scared or anything like that.
Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the things when I was meditating, I got the name Mary. So we'll have to find out if there is anyone here named Mary.
Maybe that woman.
Well, I know we don't know her name, so I'm gonna have to
the woman that
try
he
to
doesn't
find
like. So maybe that's what it was.
I don't know, or the companion, the woman.
Oh, maybe the caretaker.
Yeah, because
could be.
I don't know her name, but yeah. I got the name Mary, random. I don't know. So I'm gonna look into that and see what I can see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Think ready to get back at it?
Yeah, I think we'll pause here for now. we'll say goodbye, but I can edit that out if it's not really goodbye. And we can just come back in and talk some more.
Yeah, we want to do a little more investigating, so we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll come back either way, and so it'll stop, and then we'll come back into it.
We'll come back. Yeah, we'll come back and say goodbye and let anybody know if anything else happened.
All right.
All right. So we are back. Part 2.
Yes.
We did some more experiments, I guess you could say. We did some more communicating with the spirit, who was pretty receptive, I guess.
Yeah, so it seems we were talking to Fred. He is the owner of the Chapman Inn with his wife Sandra, but he's passed. And yeah, we tried a few things. We have an EMF meter, and so it's staticky, and as you get around like electricity, it'll go kind of crazy. It gets like louder and squeaky or high-pitched. So I had walked around the room previously trying to get a feeling of the areas that would set it off. So anywhere where there's like an electrical outlet, anywhere there's a lot of electricity, it'll go crazy. But kind of hovering by like the chairs, the couch, the beds. And we tried it, and we weren't really getting anything, so we went into the bedroom. And Alex walks over to one of the beds, and it starts going off, which is weird because I checked it before and it didn't go off. So we tried a few different things to figure out what was going on. But then what happened while you were standing there?
Well, see, I thought at first that maybe it was because I was holding it in my hand that has my Apple Watch on.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched hands, and it was still doing it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of weird. Then I got chills, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, you got really cold again.
Yeah, I get really cold, goosebumps, but again, I didn't feel like anything other than just cold and goosebumps. So it was pretty strange.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But we tried talking and asking some questions, but nothing.
Yeah, we really didn't get much
with that at all. So
no.
Then we decided to come back into the, what would you call this, the kitchen lounge area of the suite here. And I got the dowsing rods and had a seat. And it got pretty fun.
Yeah, so we shut off the EMF because we weren't really getting anything, and I thought maybe it was annoying.
Yeah.
So
It's starting to annoy me, to be honest with you.
So we shut it off. And so so for the people watching, these are our dowsing rods, they're copper. And we kept it away from anywhere where there was water because we don't want to get involved to water. We were trying to be very careful. We use them away from anything that should set it off. And Alex sat in the chair where I had sat before.
Yeah.
And
that chair has a big little spring coming right up the bottom of it. So it's not the most comfortable seat. But
no. But yeah, we got some results again.
Yeah, that was weird. Again, I was explaining to you earlier that I was sitting with my forearms and my wrists resting on my thighs, and just holding the rods up in my hands, making sure to be as still as possible. And when we started asking some questions, asking for yes or no answers, we would say, for yes, cross the rods, for no, spread them further apart. And yeah, it was just really weird feeling them pulling.
But we were getting answers, and that's the weird thing. It's like, to be getting specific answers, like the first question I asked, I figured it would be a yes question, but it's just to kind of test and see, like, is it going to do whatever? I mean, Alex held them, and they were pretty, they kind of...
You were filming me the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
We have it all on film.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, I don't
know how to describe it, other than...
They move based on the answer, yeah. And there was one point where we were like, separate them. If it, what was the question? Do you remember?
I honestly, I don't remember the question now.
It just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it like separated, and like one of them like looped around and pointed back at Alex.
Yeah.
That
was weird.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So I was just like, okay.
But it has been quite an experience. We've tried a few things. It seems like the dowsing rods we got the most action with. With yes or no, we asked if he had the capability of moving my keys to make them jingle, and it seemed like a no, because they didn't cross, yeah. And then we asked if he had the capability of talking into the microphone of the camera, and again, we didn't get a yes, it just kind of stayed separate. So it might just be he's not capable of communicating with other ways. That might be the easiest way for him to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we asked if he was okay with us and, you know, excited about us communicating, and he said yes, so that was awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been very, very fun.
Yeah.
And again, just not at all what I thought it would be whatsoever. But as I think, what was it, a couple of shows ago where I was kind of goofing on the Ghost Hunter shows and stuff like that. I was goofing on because what they do is so just like, come on. It's obviously they're doing it for entertainment purposes. This, like what we did, was very, I mean, for us it was exciting because we're doing it, but I think if anybody else was watching it, they'd be like, okay, yeah,
It was exciting for us.
boring. Like, okay, these things crossed. But that's why it's hard to explain how those things work.
Well, it's hard because somebody might say, oh, you're just moving them and making them do it. It's like, well, if you watch us, you can see that we're trying to be really still.
Well, yeah, and of course, that's what a skeptic would say.
Yeah.
That's what I would say if I was watching it personally. But when it happened to me, I was like, okay, so it's a little weird out. Cause
when you first saw the rods moving when I was holding them,
the first thing I did was look at your hands. I started looking at your hands. And I trust you implicitly. But I immediately, the skeptic in me went looking at your hands like, are her hands moving? Or is she like shifting her weight unknowingly? Is anything happening? And I couldn't tell. It looked like you were sitting perfectly still.
I was trying to sit perfectly still.
So
except I kept getting the chills.
But that's the thing. I looked right at your hands. And I was looking at your arms and your body, just see, is there anything moving? Any kind of shifting going on? Anything? I didn't notice anything. Yeah. And so that's why when I was sitting down, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit as still as I possibly can. And I was, when that thing turned around and pointed at me, I was like,
yeah, that was so weird. Because it was crossed and then it separated and it like swung back around and like pointed at him. It was crazy.
And then when they came all the way back around again, and I'm just like, all right.
It was weird because it's like, when I was holding the rods, it's like I kept getting the chills, and it was almost like before they moved, it's like I felt like I started getting chills, and then they moved and it got more. So, because at first I'm like, I was just getting the chills because they're moving, it's like, ooh, but I was like, so I'm paying attention, it's like I'd start to feel it. And did that happen for you?
I was feeling a little...
like before it really moved.
Yeah, I don't know how to, it's hard to describe it because I've never felt anything like that before, but it was just, I was like, yeah, just kind of chillish.
It's weird, like,
I don't know how to explain it.
It was like going throughout my body.
Yeah, it was like tingling, kind of weird.
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that before, so that was definitely very interesting. Yeah.
Well, we finally stayed somewhere where we had an experience.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Something happened.
I know. How many, I mean, we've been to quite a few places, and I try to look at it. Doesn't mean that the place isn't haunted just because we didn't have an experience. It's just maybe those spirits didn't want to mingle with us. Yeah. Maybe they didn't like our energy, or they had something better to do, or who knows.
Yeah, well.
But
this has been fun.
Yeah, we've had a very good experience here.
Yeah, this has definitely been fun.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Before we call it a night, I just want to remind people, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll try to go this way. Our t-shirts. We have t-shirts for sale on our website now.
Yes.
So the shirt I'm wearing, if you're watching on YouTube, or you can go to Twitter or Instagram and watch the video from tonight, it's our Homewrecker Podcast family dinner t-shirt. So it's essentially us family dinner with our little guests of Bigfoot, Mothman, a Man in Black, Green Children of Wool Pit, a ghost, an alien. Yeah, so it's just something really fun. Or you can get a t-shirt with our logo on it. And we have tank tops as well.
Yes, so you can find those over at homewreckerpodcast.com.
Yes.
What else can they do over at homewreckerpodcast.com?
You can go to our forum and chat with us, chat with other listeners, and not get shadow banned because you have some crazy theory or crazy quote unquote. We might not think it's crazy. We might agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, you can always find us on Twitter.
Yes, at Homewrecker Pod.
And Instagram.
Homewrecker Podcast.
And we just mentioned the website, so we're not going to go over that again.
Homewreckerpodcast.com.
Right.
Check it out and buy a shirt. Support us.
Sure.
So other people see it and say, hey, what shirt is that?
Yeah,
and then they'll listen.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
And if you haven't already, and you're listening now, go on over to iTunes, hit that subscribe button, or hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
And like on YouTube as well, please.
Yes.
Yes, that helps us.
And leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
Yes.
That helps us with the visibility, helps us to grow the show, so we appreciate that support as well.
We do.
And do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to say that this has been a wonderful experience, and a big thank you to Sandra from the Chapman Inn. And if you're ever up here, definitely a wonderful place to stay.
Absolutely. Come and check it out. It's been a blast here.
Yes. And it's a lovely town.
Yeah, Bethel, Maine. Not too shabby.
No.
And stop on over at
The Irving gas station.
the Irving gas station off
in
exit
Seaton.
33 on 93 North.
In New Hampshire.
Yes. Check out the Betty and Barney Hill abduction site.
Yes.
Get some gas. Get a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, go to Indian Head Resort.
Why not?
See the incident site sign. Get a picture taken.
So until next time, I am the Golden Greek Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker Podcast.